Yo, what's going on, guys? It's J Mass, and I'm back again with another dope New England adventure. Join me as we explore some abandoned ruins on an isolated island in the middle of a lake. We made it. We got the abandoned ruins directly behind me, and you can see we are currently on an unnamed island in the middle of a lake. Specifically, we're actually in the town of Rutland, Massachusetts. Now, Rutland is actually a town that I've already covered twice on this channel. I've explored 2 abandoned sites already, so this actually marks the 3rd abandoned site that I've explored in the town of Rutland. I gotta say, it's a town that really punches above its weight in terms of abandoned sites, but we got some really cool ruins today, some dope cobblestone ruins. I'm gonna give you guys more of the information and history as we get going, but I'm pretty excited to see what this abandoned ruin in Rutland has in store. And by the way, I am joined with a friend of the channel who's been on many videos with me, and that is Tom from GoXplr. How's it going, Tom?
Good, good. Excited to be here. We had a bit of a journey out here, a lot of bushwhacking, losing the trail, but we made it. I mean, this spot has been on both of our lists for many years now, so excited to finally check it off and check it all out.
Yeah, I'm excited to get going and check out these abandoned ruins. Guys, we're going to get into it shortly, but feel free to follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. Subscribe to the channel if you love urban exploration, checking out abandoned sites in New England. Tom also does the same thing. He does a lot of urban exploration, you know, checking out abandoned sites, traveling New England on his own stuff. GoXplr. GoXplr is a great resource, has an Instagram, TikTok, and it's online. So definitely check out Tom at GoXplr.
Thank you.
We're just going to get right into it. This is one of our many collaborations.
Yeah, we've had some successful ones in the past, some pretty crazy ones. And
Absolutely.
This one's kind of in the middle of mellowness, but it should be fun.
It'll probably be a relatively short one, but still a cool site. So
cool.
We're going to get started and check out these dope island house ruins here in Rutland, Massachusetts. Let's get started. All right, guys, let's get started and explore these really interesting island house ruins here in the middle of Rutland, Massachusetts. Now, as I mentioned, the island that these ruins are on apparently doesn't have a name. It looks like a pretty unnamed island, unclaimed, but it's right in the middle of Long Pond here in Rutland. Long Pond is an absolutely gorgeous lake, as you guys saw at the very beginning of the video. But yeah, these are the ruins. Pretty cool stuff. What are your first impressions?
Super cool. I mean, definitely some of like the most intact ruins that I've ever seen, and it reminds me a lot of that windswept mansion in Narragansett, Rhode Island?
Yep.
Like with the whole, you know, front facade showing, and then the fireplace, everything. Yeah, it's
great comparison. Great comparison. This is very similar to Windswept Estate in Narragansett. Super similar.
Yeah, just crazy. And I'm surprised. I mean, not overgrown though, like Windswept is. You know, that place is weeds galore, tons of flooding water and everything else.
Yeah,
but
I know,
this
right?
is, you know, pretty easy to move around in, which is awesome. So.
As you guys can see, there is definitely foliage and vegetation going on in these ruins, but there's also a lot of empty vacant space. And keep in mind, it's like in the middle of July, it's summer, the foliage is up and going, but now these ruins are actually quite open, at least inside.
Yeah.
Got a cool chimney here.
Yeah, very cool. And actually there's some marking here of some
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh wait, what does that say?
Yeah, I mean, historian may be able to tell you what brick factory that came.
Oh, this says minor.
Minor. Interesting.
What does that say? That says, minor as well.
Huh. Never really thought about
Curious
that.
what that is.
Looks like kind of some fresh coal, so I don't know, maybe some
someone
kids.
probably set a fire here.
Yeah, but amazing. No, you know, not much litter at all, or graffiti, which is pretty wild for a place like this. So
this is really the only graffiti here is this very strange lizard. Definitely looks kind of faded with time, but you can see someone painted a pretty interesting lizard right here on the side. And isn't there another lizard somewhere too?
Yeah, I've seen other lizards around this area at abandoned locations.
Oh, I see it right now. Actually, it's right there.
Is there another lizard?
Yeah, that one.
Oh my god.
There it is. That was the other one I was looking for. There's another lizard right here. So there's a lizard there and a lizard there. Very strange.
Crazy.
Yeah, cool stuff. Okay guys, so I think we're gonna wander around the exterior a bit. We'll explore the inside a little bit more too, but I just want to show you what the exterior of this island house looks like. And as I do that, I will give you some of the history. I do want to be upfront and say I don't know a ton of history about these specific ruins, but the location it's in is pretty interesting. So as I mentioned, this is located in the town of Rutland, Massachusetts. However, these ruins were once part of a historic village, the West Rutland Village. So apparently there was once a village here, the West Rutland Village, which had a lot of stuff going on, had several homes, a post office, schools, a mill. You know, it was a pretty thriving community. However, by the 1920s, specifically in 1926, something known as the Ware River Act was passed by the state of Massachusetts. And that basically gave the government full control of the area to shut it down for flooding and drainage. And the reason is the city of Boston was growing exponentially and needed more drinking water. And if you are a fellow historian of Massachusetts, you probably know where I'm going with this, the Quabbin Reservoir. Between 1930 and 1939, the Quabbin Reservoir was constructed, which is currently the largest body of water in Massachusetts, and I believe still the largest drinking water supply for the city of Boston and other communities. But in the 1930s, the Quabbin Reservoir was being constructed, and that required a huge watershed and floodplain. And the Ware River was one of those, and West Rutland was located right in the Ware River Watershed. So the entire West Rutland Village, by the end of the 1920s, had been evacuated. Now, from what I understand, these specific ruins were a summer home or an estate of some sort owned by the Priest family. Sadly, I don't know a lot about the Priest family, but these ruins were once the Priest family home. Interestingly, there was a bit of a misconception online that this was actually owned by someone named Edward Cross. A lot of people think it's the Edward Cross summer home, but through my research, it actually looks like it was the Priest family who owned this. But yeah, pretty cool stuff. So basically, West Rutland Village and this specific home that we're seeing are one of many, many places that suffered as a result of the construction of the Quabbin Reservoir. About 2 years back, I did a video of Dana Common. If you don't know, Dana was a town in Massachusetts that was completely evacuated and disincorporated in preparation for the Quabbin Reservoir. So West Rutland is one of many communities that was devastated by the reservoir. And apparently there's a lot of cellar holes in the area and like other ruins. Tom and I did a lot of digging. Unfortunately, we couldn't find much. It's a very overgrown time right now because of mid-July. So sadly, we couldn't see any other ruins. But I mean, these huge house ruins are pretty open and clear to see, you know. So I will keep an eye out for other ruins. Obviously, I'll show you guys. But yeah, so far we got these huge island house ruins. Pretty cool stuff. But this is a direct result of the drainage of the Ware River Watershed. So flash forward to 2024, and we got these really interesting abandoned ruins on the middle of an unnamed island in Long Pond here in Rutland, Massachusetts. As far as I know, as of the 1940s, the entire West Rutland Village was completely evacuated and empty. Really all that's left behind now are cellar holes, ruins, you know, remnants of the past. As I mentioned, Tom and I did a bit of digging in the area. We did not find any cellar holes or ruins, but I know they're there. We've seen like footage and videos of them. But
for sure, yeah, we've seen them online, and there's even, you know, pictures of what the houses used to look like around here. And yeah, it's odd that we didn't find any remains of those. Or I was thinking too, like a bridge to this house. Like I'm not sure where that exists. You know, if this is on an island. I mean, I know it's not a big island, like it's not far away from the shore, but I believe there's some land that way that like almost connects, and so maybe there's a driveway down there, but it's off limits. It's not public property. But, this obviously.
And don't quote me on this because I could be wrong, but I know when they were doing flooding and drainage for the Quabbin Reservoir, it's possible this island could have been connected to the mainland.
That's a good point.
And then when they flooded, you know, maybe the water level rose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, maybe the water level went down. I don't know.
Sure, I'm not sure.
I have a feeling Long Pond is probably a result of the Ware River, you know, watershed being toyed with.
Sure, that's a good point. Very interesting.
Yeah, pretty cool. As of today, these ruins are completely on an island. Now, I should say, we didn't kayak or anything to get here. We actually walked right over. Even though this is an island, it's connected by pretty much a beaver dam, you know, a very minor makeshift bridge. Everyone says it's a beaver dam. I don't know what kind of beavers would make a dam like the one we saw, but I think it was probably just placed by people. But there were like some logs we walked across. So this is an island but you can actually access it by foot. It's just a bit of a hike to get here. Also a super overgrown hike, I might add. But yeah, let's peek around, see what we got going on here. So got some really cool looking ruins. Most of it is concrete, stone. I think those are the main two materials, concrete and stone.
Yeah, what I find interesting about these is, I mean, lots of ruins that I visited have collapsed, you know, into themselves, and a lot look like that, you know, with not the supporting above the windows. I'm not sure what this exactly is, but it's, I usually see wood there, but it kind of like a steel or
steel
iron
or metal.
with the
it almost looks like iron, like pig iron maybe.
But yeah, maybe that's what's keeping this up. I mean, this maybe isn't the oldest ruins I've ever visited.
Actually, I do see wood here. That's actually wood.
Yeah, that seems like somebody might have put that there later. I'm not sure to keep it up.
Oh, that's like four different materials. So you got wood, metal, stone, and concrete.
And concrete, yeah.
Wow,
so,
that's cool.
Yeah, very interesting. I thought that was a unique aspect about this ruin. And yeah, seeing the concrete too is
cool stuff.
Is unique. So
the other thing that Tom pointed out too is I think part of the reason why it's so empty here, like void of foliage, is because if you look closely, the whole ground is concrete. You see? You can wipe away all these pine needles, just concrete under.
Yeah.
So obviously the roots can't go down into the concrete.
Yeah, so that must be very unique, because usually you see like the supporting, you know, cast to the beams, which would, you know, be people's floors and cellars and basements, but obviously no basement here.
Yeah, and I think the only reason there's pockets of foliage is because you can see there's a lot more topsoil on top.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So I do think this whole like ground is all concrete, except for little pockets and parts like that where there's like a ton of soil. But then you got like the odd tree, and so that's strange. Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. I actually didn't even notice that tree until you just pointed it out. But
this tree does have a sign though, which I'll show you guys really quick. So this is owned by the DCR, you can see, which is a conservation organization. No alcohol, no fires, no camping, no swimming. Tom and I actually did all 4 of those things, but don't put it on camera.
Oh my gosh.
Cool stuff. Yeah. But I gotta say, the really cool thing about these ruins to me are honestly all the windows. It's so cool seeing all the empty windows. You got all the stuff like that. As Tom mentioned, some of the windows are like missing the top layer.
Yeah.
But then some of them are like completely intact like this.
Which is just crazy. I visited so many ruins and just usually not intact like that.
100%.
So.
Like windswept estate, like you said.
Yeah.
I think windswept estate is kind of like looking like that part.
Yeah, nowadays, at least the majority of the walls. Yeah. I have a ruins near my house, and actually somebody did put up like a wooden board to try to like slow it down from falling in. So maybe they preserve this someday. I don't know. It's not likely though, considering the trail is so poor to get here.
True.
But we'll see.
Yeah, cool stuff.
If anyone wants to come, you should come like next week, because Jacob just took down all of the spider webs. So
Oh my God, dude! There. Walking through the trails, my face was collecting so many spider webs. I probably ate like 5 spiders.
Yeah.
Rough stuff.
Not fun for us, but we paved the way, so let's keep it fresh. Funny.
So I do kind of want to give you guys a more farther back view of the ruins, just to kind of show you what it looks like from afar. Pretty cool stuff. But to do that, we have to wade through all this thick foliage. And this kind of gives you an idea of the trails Tom and I have been walking through to get here. Probably took us about 30 minutes or so, maybe 40 minutes to get to these ruins from where we parked. A lot of thick foliage. But yeah, this is what the Island House ruins look like from afar, the Priest family estate. Pretty cool stuff. You can see the chimney, you know, the very tall A-frame. Pretty cool stuff, but yeah, that's what the ruins look like from afar. Most of the footage and photos I've seen online are actually in the winter, and I kind of see why. I think coming here in the winter might be best. You know, you can get a lot more of a full view of the house. In the summer, it's definitely obscured by trees and plants and stuff, but yeah, this is what the Island House ruins, the Priest family estate, looks like from afar. Super cool stuff. And then right over here is Long Pond. That's the beautiful views of Long Pond here in Rutland, Massachusetts. The geographic center of Massachusetts, by the way, I forgot to mention that. We are currently in the geographic center of the state of Massachusetts. But yeah, super cool. This is the Priest family estate. I don't know, what do you think so far? What are your thoughts?
Super cool. Yeah, definitely. I mean, probably my favorite ruins that I've seen, and just the remoteness of them. And, I mean, yeah, just how much is left, not totally caved in.
It is kind of cool how like somewhat isolated it is, because we're not in a super populated area.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's some weird, just, I don't know, every little thing's bad. Like this down here, this, you know, old concrete step. And
these things, what are those?
This looks like some sort of like, maybe lantern went in there. I'm not quite sure. Like, it just
there's a bunch of them actually. A ton of these iron spikes coming.
And then tons of iron spikes. Like, just that's
strange.
So fascinating. fascinating. You know,
yeah, there's like so many things like this thing right here.
Yeah.
What is that, you know?
Like what's the detailing or the
a lot of
architecture
weird detailing,
of this?
yeah.
And hopefully you'll be able to find the photo of what this place looked like when it was built. I think there is one photo at least. I think they wanted to document it before the whole reservoir was built out. But
I will include right here for you guys what Tom's mentioning, a picture of the Priest family estate prior to the evacuation. You'll see what it looks like. Super cool.
Yeah, no, super cool. I'm definitely wondering about this material. It just seems like maybe somebody put that in later. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I got more of that here.
Yeah, it's just so interesting.
Yeah, this looks like maybe sheet metal.
Yeah,
actually.
just like a plank of it. Like very interesting. And
cool stuff.
And yeah, hopefully these ruins remain standing for many more years. Definitely, you know, not the best condition, but you can definitely see some cracks forming. But
definitely,
it's I'm glad to see it for sure. And
pretty pristine spot. Now that you mention that, I can definitely see.
You know,
some
that's that's exactly what I see. And it's just like this top wall will fall someday. I mean, just all along. I mean,
sadly, it doesn't have too much time left, probably.
Yeah, maybe not.
But I mean, at the same time, it's been sitting here since the 1930s, so
that's fair.
almost 100 years actually. This point, 2024.
Yeah, crazy.
Give it a couple more years, this will be a century old.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, no, just amazing.
Cool stuff.
And I wonder, was it one story? Was it 2 stories? Like
that, I'm not sure about. Hopefully, in that photo I added, they can tell. But probably 2 stories, I would have to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was a basement or a cellar. I haven't seen actually. They peek around one more time. I haven't seen any notes of a basement or underground section, but.
And it's not. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm not used to this concrete. I'm usually used to seeing, you know, pillars that supported the floor. And so there could have been pillars and the floor could have been, you know, up to here, but no, not with the fireplace. So I don't know. Yeah,
strange stuff.
Kind of odd. Definitely a unique set of ruins.
Oh, absolutely.
For sure, considering all these factors, but yeah. Huh.
And lastly, I do want to give you guys another shot of the back view, this time from afar. Just want to give you guys some sense of scale, how big this house was, the Priest's family estate. So yeah, this is from the back end. Again, you can see the chimney in the middle, the walls, pretty cool stuff. It's a really cool ruins. You know, I really liked it. I've known about this place for quite some time. Actually took quite a bit of digging to find where it was, I will say. But when I saw it was in Rutland, I'm like, oh God, more abandoned sites in Rutland. This is a lot in this town. But yeah, pretty cool. This is the back end of the Priest family estate, the abandoned island house of ruins. Peer in one more time, and yeah, pretty cool stuff though. I really liked exploring this. Yeah, this is the part I love the most, is that huge A-frame right there. You know, the tilted or slanted frame right there. Super cool stuff. I love that architecture. I love just old, you know, 19th century, 20th century architecture. I should add, by the way, even though I know this place was abandoned by the 1930s, I don't know when it was built. So I just want to be clear, I don't know when this building was built. I think it was built sometime in the 1800s, from what I understand. I just don't know what part of the 1800s. So the house is definitely more than a century old, but it's only been abandoned for a little less than a century. So I don't know, do you know when this was built? I know it was the 1800s, I just don't know what year.
No, I'm not sure. And I was looking, there was like a little cemetery at the start of this trail, and we were trying to find like a gravestone of anybody from the family, but
yeah, I didn't see any priest gravestones.
Yeah, we couldn't find it. So yeah, I'm not sure, but hopefully if we get an answer, I'm sure you'll let everyone know.
And I'm sure one of the more educated commenters will correct us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, someone who's got the deep ties to the historical boards.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cool.
But yeah, no, super cool spot. Super cool.
Hey, thank you guys for joining me. I've been J-Mass as always, and this has been another dope New England adventure. And today we checked out some really cool island house ruins, the former Priest family estate, located here in an island on the southern end of Long Pond, here in the town of Rutland, Massachusetts. Super cool stuff, especially the fact that this is located on an island. I mean, yes, it was an island we could access on foot, but still an island nonetheless, and still really cool ruins. The island is completely wooded and forested. There's like no other signs of life here. It is open to the public and accessible. Anyone can come here, but it is somewhat isolated. Definitely takes a bit of time to walk over here, and definitely very overgrown. The foliage here is wild, but once you get here, it is worth it. These are some of the coolest ruins I've seen. Also pretty intact. Like you can clearly tell what this was, you know, it was a summer home. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, this thing was evacuated to make way for the Quabbin Reservoir, which between 1930 and 1939 was constructed by the state of Massachusetts. Now, the reason this was evacuated was due to the Ware River Act of 1926. That was really when the government took control of the West Rutland Village, a once thriving community. They took control of it, evacuated most of the residents, razed most of the buildings, and really all that's left of the West Rutland Village are cellar holes, ruins, loose stones, a couple rail lines here and there, and then of course the Priest family estate. But pretty cool stuff to see. It's almost like walking through a remnants of an abandoned village, an abandoned place. It's kind of eerie to think like what was going on here one time. This was probably a thriving place, but ever since the 1940s, it's been completely abandoned. And I do just want to say thank you to Tom for joining me as always. Tom and I have collaborated several times at this point. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
And what'd you think? What are your final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm so excited to finally check this one off the list. I mean, this is one of the coolest sets of ruins that I've ever seen. So we always have a fun adventure, and this one was definitely towards the top of my list. So excited.
Absolutely, it was dope. It was a really fun place. Thank you for joining me. Definitely check out GoXplr, guys. Really great resource for urban explorers and New England travelers. And definitely subscribe to my channel if you like that stuff, or follow me on Instagram at JMassOfficial. That's at JMassOfficial. But yeah, I've been JMass as always. This was the Priest family estate, or the Island House Ruins, here in the town of Rutland, Massachusetts, located on an island here in Long Pond. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.